Hello guys, did you know that in the art of rhetoric, verbal communication usually suffices the whole conjecture of persuasion as long as there are enough elements in your content that will sway your audience into whatever idea you are presenting. However, in today's time and with intensive research, communication has been proven more effective when a visual material is at hand. It is a no-brainer to add the idea of text-image combination when we are considering the perspective of rhetoric. The powerful impact of this combination sometimes even surpasses the capacity of one's mind, bearing limitless imagination. As images attract people more, it also has the ability to pique the target's interest with just one look, and people able to remember it for a period of time. It is quite baffling that the occurrence of the discovery of this perspective is a little late. With the notion of how or what a visual rhetoric should be, there is no fixed structure about how it usually goes down detail to detail. However, with numerous takes on how one can inject rhetorical aspects to a visual element, important things like if the text-image relations had an impact or if the combinations strengthen the whole idea are to keep in mind. One example is Bart's prediction on his book Image, Music, Text, The Rhetoric of the Image, analyzing an advertisement about Panzani, a pasta brand. There are actually three classes of messages according to Bart's: linguistic message, connoted message, and denoted message. So for the first one, linguistic message, the caption and the labels of the brand only speak the language in the whole image, no? They are the text. And that the Panzani shows Italianness and the caption. He then analyzed that the image shows four signs of connotation, no? We are now in connoted message. From the non-linguistic part of the image, an open bag means the owner just got home from the market. The tomatoes and peppers signify Italianness. All the elements demonstrate that it is connected to culinary. The whole picture symbolizes still life. And lastly, the denoted message. While the denoted message part of the advert shows the literal message of the whole image. A tomato is a tomato, a pepper symbolizes a pepper, and so on. So in short, Barthes explained that all the connotators in an image are any visual elements that completes the idea and that breed the rhetorical aspect of the image, meaning all the recognizable visual components that make up an image can be used as signifiers. From this point on, visual images and material objects are now considered to be a proponent in rhetoric, and disregarding any other elements that come with the art of rhetoric would only mean that we only got a small piece of it. If you like this video, follow for more.
Are you still confused on how rhetoric develops into visual studies? Or maybe you are wondering who are the people behind this? Or maybe you need to help your father do your household chores, Vaughn. Hala? Joke lang po! As visual rhetoric needs further research and improvement up to this time, theorists present their arguments for the flourishing of the said discipline. This topic focuses on the matter of expanding visual rhetoric through different theories and proposed frameworks of various personas. Let us now expand the knowledge of visual rhetoric through arguments of rhetoric. First, we have Kenneth Burke. By embracing him as a rhetorical theorist by the discipline of rhetoric, his theory contributed to the emergence of scholarship on visual images. Burke advocated the investigation of symbols in all of their forms, including mathematics, music, sculpture, painting, dance, architectural styles, and so on. Since in his view, symbolicity encompassed not only discourse, but also all other human symbol systems. Second, we have Douglas Ehninger. As rhetorical scholars like Douglas Ehninger, whose reputation among traditional rhetoricians was undeniable, proposed a definition of rhetoric that did not prioritize verbal symbols and was sufficiently broad to include the visual. The door to the rhetorical study of images swung open further. He viewed rhetoric by which people may influence one another's thinking and conduct by the deliberate use of symbols, and suggested that art, architecture, dancing, and clothing be suitable topics for rhetorical study. Of course, there are objections among proposals to expand rhetoric to encompass visual, including the concerns that rhetoricians lack knowledge about visual images. First, we have Waldo W. Braden. Braden argued that rhetorical critics are ill-equipped to handle images or other non-discursive rhetorical devices. And I quote, "I argued that by inclination and training most of us are best qualified to study the speech or rhetorical act." Second objection is from Rhetoric P. Hart. His stance implies that scholars who stray from traditional and widely accepted definition of rhetoric are apparently forfeiting the immediate application of the theoretical threads derived from earlier studies of problematic, non-mediated, verbal exchanges between humans. By examining the visual, he claimed, we will be forced to reassess the credibility of our theoretical distinctions. Then we have John H. Patton. Patton emphasized the dominance of language in rhetorical theory in response to suggestions to investigate visual symbols. He argued that expanding the concept of rhetoric to include non-linguistic symbols would result in a rhetorical dislocation and a rupture with the essential assumptions of the theory. Other rhetorical scholars have claimed that imagery as a rhetorical form is inferior to discourse in terms of its effect on public communication. Although these rhetoricians didn't condemn the study of visual imagery, they favored the study of discussions over the visual due to their perception of discourse's superior properties. First, we have Neil Postman. Postman argued that the visual epistemology of television taints the public conversation and causes it to lose seriousness, clarity, and most importantly, worth. Second, we have David Zarefsky. In line with Postman's argument, Zarefsky proposed that rhetorical devices like images stand in for a more complex reality, causing a rich and lively concept of debate and of public discussion to collapse. The last one will be Caitlin Hull Jamieson. According to Jamieson, the cognitive processing of images is less explicit and crucial than the processing that occurs in the assignment of meaning, the verbal discourse. She also claimed that visuals are particularly prone to a reduction of argument. Due to a variety of factors that the study of visual images has persisted and even flourished in rhetorical studies, the dominance of the visual image and its influence on modern culture are at the top of the plate. The rhetorical environment is heavily influenced by images which today have the same cultural significance as speeches did in the past. These images include those from commercials, television, movies, architecture, interior design, and clothing. Public speeches once had a great impact towards culture, but the culture is long gone. Theories of rhetoric include the aspects of rhetorical processes that can be captured through discourse, since they have focused on and developed from the study of discursive symbols. But not all human experiences are represented by discursive symbols. Typically, the only way to communicate human experiences that are spatially oriented, non-linear, multidimensional, and dynamic is through visual imagery or other non-discursive symbols. Paying attention to these types of symbols is necessary in order to comprehend and describe such experiences. The aim for rhetorical theory to be more broad and complete is another driving motivation behind the rhetorical study of visual imagery. Rhetoricians poorly comprehend how visual pictures convey meaning and how viewers are affected by the visuals. They have misunderstood information about crucial communicative processes by placing visual imagery at the margins of their theories, which has led to incomplete, incorrect, and misunderstandings of symbols. Paying attention to visual symbols allows for a more complete picture of symbol use.
Oh, so that's what we call visual rhetoric. The development of rhetoric from verbal to visual become an avenue for people to be drawn on symbols that you see every day. Oh, perfect, huh? Perfect.